Hey YouTube, today I want to show you all this 2001 Land Rover Discovery SE with 77,000 miles. Of course this thing is four-wheel drive, known to be one of the best off-roading vehicles out there, and I think this will be my first ever tour of one of these. I've rode in one as a kid back in the mid-90s, really can't say much of the experience. I thought it was cool, but anyways, here's this one. It's in great shape. No signs of rust on the body, just on the defense grille over here. This thing has a 4-liter V8 engine under the hood, makes 188 horsepower and only 250 foot-pounds of torque. There's regular, normally aspirated V6 engines of a smaller size that make more power than this thing, and it also weighs 4,600 pounds, only gets up to 16 miles to the gallon on the highway, and has a 24-gallon fuel tank, so imagine this thing is the biggest guzzler you could ever ask for. One cool fact, the V8 engine under the hood of this thing is actually a Buick motor designed back in the 60s, and it's funny how they managed to make this engine for so many years, and of course Land Rover did some tweaks of their own. I think it was called the Buick 215 motor, something like that. I always liked the rugged looks of the Discovery. I always thought it looked cool. I have more heart for the Range Rover though, from like the 80s, early 90s, just before it turned into that electrical nightmare. I like those windows on top. Oh, you heard that starter grind from some other car. The spare tire mounted on the back door, which opens sideways. Look back here, shall we? Ooh, gosh, this door is so heavy. Some of these came with a third row. It wasn't really considered a row. The seats were actually mounted here on the sides, so passengers back here would have fun fondling with each other. Instead, these compartments are in place. They're very deep, very flimsy though. I'm surprised how they're not broken yet. Sounds like a plastic toolbox. This side as well. Seats do fold down, 60/40 split fold. Let me see if I can tumble them. They should go. Nothing else down there, just latches to strap down cargo. Just check out the windows up there. I always thought this was so cool about these. It's a very utilitarian looking interior. For some reason they were touted as luxurious. Really wasn't anything fancy to look at. But these seats, they look very comfortable. Perforated inserts. The power seat controls are here, backrest, back and forth, more thigh support, and etc. Materials on the door panel, this is suede here, you can see how it's just wearing down. Everything is padded. It's basically a coating of vinyl. And this is weird, just take a look at this floor. It's not flat, it's at an angle. That's quite awkward. Lock and unlock, very simple. I think this is the very first Land Rover that doesn't have any warning lights, such as the anti-lock or check engine light. It really does feel awkward sitting inside this Land Rover Discovery. Everything is so oddly proportioned. Seriously, I am squished in here. There's just no shoulder room. Look at this. This is unacceptable. If somebody were to nail me sideways, I mean T-bone me, I would most definitely break my hip or shoulders, or possibly death. Seats themselves are very comfortable and supportive. High seating position, hugs your back nicely. Bottom section also hugs your ass nicely too. Lots of thigh support, and again, the high seating position, can't complain there. The footwell is small. The transmission hump is enormous. You really don't have much of a choice but to shift your legs to the left a little bit. The footwell, awkward. My feet just slide down this direction. Very weird. I don't know how they got away making this thing like that. Interior qualities also weren't that great either. You were paying about $40,000 or $37,000, whatever it was, and the interior quality sucked. This section here over the instrument cluster, it's one hunk of plastic, and this thing is loose too. Look at that. The rest of the dashboard, it's somewhat padded. It's like a vinyl finish. It's somewhat soft touch. Airbag covers, one hunk of plastic. Same deal with the glove box lid too. Feels very cheap and sounds like it too. It's average size though. At least it has that going for it. The radio has cassette. Really can't see anything. Radio has cassette. Not sure if it has CD. Maybe there's a CD changer hidden somewhere, but I just don't know where it is. Dual zone automatic climate control. Finally, something in the 21st century. Cup holder. The flimsiest thing you could ever ask for. Coin holder. And what's this? Another coin holder. Oh, that's the ashtray. The door locks, this digital clock, which has the same readout as a cheap digital watch that you can get at Walmart for $3. Fuel filler lid, and the rear defogger, front defogger. This is actually coated in vinyl somewhat. It's barely noticeable, feels more like plastic. This is for the low range engagement or four-wheel drive high. This thing uses a 4-speed automatic. Sport mode. I'm noticing this S illuminating right there, so that's my assumption. The e-brake, power windows, both front windows have auto down functions, seat heaters, and this is the window lock. Very odd location too, you really can't see them, you really need to feel for them. Center console isn't sure-footed, it jiggles all over the place. If you let the lid drop all the way back, you'll have a cup holder and a little tray for the rear passengers. Armrest is padded though, and you also have these armrests attached to the seats, and this is to adjust the height of the armrest. So once you crank over here, it rests a little bit lower. When you crank it the other way, you can see the height is a little bit more elevated. Same deal on the passenger side too. It's been a Land Rover thing for some reason. The steering wheel, it is nicely thick. It's leather wrapped. Cruise control settings and volume controls for the radio, intermittent speed wipers right there, and of course on the turn signal lever you have the headlamps too. This is for the rear fogs and front fogs. Back here for the rear wiper, not exactly sure the purpose of this. You guys educate me on that. Another weird thing, I have the seat adjusted to where I prefer. I have to have the steering wheel tilted all the way up. It doesn't go any more than this. I barely have room for my legs. I have my camera up to my eyes, and that is my view of the speedometer, so part of it is blocked. So there could be a check engine light or something that I'm not aware of. I have to peek over in order to see it. Power mirror controls are hidden right there. The steering wheel also doesn't telescope, it just tilts right there. The latch is right there. Headliner really isn't plush. It's a very thin coating. It's sagging like crazy over here too. Not sure what's going on there. You can tell the previous owner tried to stick it back up with the 3M spray. You can see his fingerprints and a mess right there of the padding just crumbling away, and it's just sticking over there on the A-pillar. The oh shit handles are stationary. Sun visors are thick, not very cushiony, but it doesn't really matter. Mirror and vanity light, little tray up here, store whatever it is you want. And this is for, oh, the rear sunroof is electric. That's cool. That's very interesting. I did not know that that opened. And I assume this is for the front. I really like that. And these shades clip in like so. I don't mind this. Cars to this day use this setup. Rear view mirror dims, has the compass to the side, and the same deal here with the sun visor mirror and vanity light, but for some reason it's not as bright. Materials carry over to the back. When it comes to the door panel, nothing changes. Very narrow, and the seat is very high off the ground. Should pull on this strap. So, I mean, you do increase cargo capacity a little bit more. This is possibly the most awkward back seat I've ever sat in. Legroom is non-existent. My leg is just cramming on the backrest, and I was barely comfortable in the front seat. But yeah, look at this. This sucks. It does have a high seating position. That's pretty good, actually. Right now I have the camera at eye level, and this is my view. You can just see the top of the head of the driver here. It's just so awkward. And you could also understand why Land Rover designed that hump on the roof. To be honest, I really thought that these things were cool, and they are cool in some form. It's almost as if everything in this Land Rover was an afterthought. You do have an armrest here in the center. Very odd, but it works. Cup holder slides out. There you go. Part of it is broken. The other weird thing is that in order for me to get out of here, I need to duck my head. I mean, just look at this. Again, my camera is at eye level. Yeah, this back seat really is awful. Ooh. Okay, once the hood is open, the prop bar is actually on the hood. For some reason, they inversed it, just like how the British drive in the opposite side. Latches right down there. And it had this attractive looking 4-liter engine. It's an overhead valve motor. Remember, it's a GM engine. 188 horsepower. And let's not forget, only 250 foot-pounds of torque. 4,600 pound tank. I just can't see how this thing will get going anywhere quickly. One thing though, it does sound great. I'm surprised just how spotless this engine is. No signs of rust anywhere. Happy engine, actually. Very smooth too. It does sound great though. So guys, I just wanted to give you all a tour of this Land Rover. I've never done one before, I don't recall it. I really need to find an old Range Rover. There's also many of them lingering up here in the north. Just to compare, to design the Range Rover, they were more considerate with passenger comfort. So anyways, YouTube, thanks for watching, and hope you all enjoyed the tour of this Land Rover Discovery.